Maybe someday I will reach the pinnacle of happiness of 13-year-old Angela reading 5 books in one day. It is rather early. The lighting probably isn't the best. The lighting in here, it makes for like some really cool shadows. I don't know if you can see those shadows in this clip. If not, I just looked really stupid. It does make for some weird writing when it comes to like the light coming right in on my face. So I'm not 100% a fan of filming at this time of day, but I did want to just come on here and say hello before I started my client work for the day for my business. This week we are going to be doing a reading week in my life vlog. So I'm going to be taking you through how I incorporate reading and writing into my everyday life. This morning you saw some footage before I started on client work. I went through my critique partner's feedback on my thriller novel. We're meeting tomorrow to discuss it more, and I'm really a little bit nervous. Her final thought in the book was, I like the ending. I have a lot of thoughts on this book. Let's make a time next week to call, which like we always make a time next week to call, but the phrase I have a lot of thoughts on this book could mean so many different things. So we'll see what happens tomorrow when we do end up calling about the book. And if you're wondering what I'm reading right now, I never put the book jackets on books, so, but for you guys, since you guys are all so special, I'm going to put the book jacket on this book when I'm talking about it. So I'm currently reading Infinite Country by Patricia Engels. Whoa, there's a lot of light on that. A lot of weird lighting there. I'm only one chapter in. I'm 16 pages in. And I also think this book is probably going to be a little bit sad because it's about immigration and a family who is half living in Colombia and half living in the US. I thought it was going to be during the Cold War, which I think I mentioned in my March wrap-up April TBR video. I think it might actually be modern day times, which makes it even sadder. I do think it's a really important book to read, and it's obviously super important to read about issues such as immigration. So I do think it's going to be a very enlightening read, and it's definitely going to fit my one thought-provoking book a month quota that I've set for myself after reading The Lost Apothecary last month. So I am excited to dive into this book, but first we have an entire day of work to get done, and then tonight I have a call with my patrons. We do some Patreon Zoom calls, and during that I might start working on my young adult contemporary novel. If you haven't seen my last writing vlog, I am working on 2 writing projects right now, which is a little bit chaotic. We'll see how I balance it in this vlog. Hello, so now I'm back from working outside. It was so lovely, and I also went to the gym. I did get a little bit of a headache because working outside, it's just allergy season right now, but I'm about to get on in my Patreon, which will be linked down below. I have like weekly co-writing, co-reading, co-working sessions, and they're super fun on Zoom. So I'm about to go to that, and it's just kind of like a pop in, pop out, open house type thing. And then after that, I have my mastermind group with some of my other writing friends tonight, where we just kind of mastermind our different ideas. I also need to clean, and I need to get more work done for client work. So I'm hopefully gonna be doing that during the co-working time tonight. I might also try to write my book a little bit if I get that work done. We will see what happens. And I also was thinking about this today. So I feel like I've been having a lot of mental health issues recently, and I feel like a lot of people I've been talking to have as well. So every single day in this Week in the Life vlog, I wanted to give kind of a tip that I'm using to help with my mental health. So today's tip is that I really enjoy just walking outside and listening to spiritual podcasts while walking outside. So today I was listening to Abraham Hicks and just kind of walking home. And I like listening to the spiritual podcasts because they remind me to like look around and look at how beautiful life is and to be grateful for what I do have. Patreon, co-working session, clean, mastermind, read. That's what we're gonna be doing tonight. Cue the cute evening B-roll unless I forget to film, and then I will see you tomorrow. It is Tuesday. I basically had classes today, did a little bit more client work, went to my part-time job, and then I had an allergic reaction. So I just kind of chilled for like the last 2 hours or so. Pollen right now is really bad. Like it's coating everything and it's just really springtime allergies season. So that isn't great. It's also not great that I have 3 meetings tonight. So I just popped an allergy pill in hopes that that'll help. I guess it kind of leads very well into my mental health tip for Tuesday, which is to give yourself time off when you need it. Whenever you take time off, you will be able to make up the work. In fact, when I don't take breaks, when I feel like I need them, it actually takes me longer to do the work than when I just like take time off despite my to-do list and then go back once I feel refreshed and work on stuff. I'm gonna head out to these 3 meetings now. Busy evening. I'm gonna bring my book in hopes that I can read a little bit in between the meetings. Hello. So first off, I'm really sorry for the noise of my upstairs neighbors. They have been so noisy today and I haven't found a time where I could film. So you might just hear like footsteps in the background. It just constantly bothers me about living here. But it's actually a week later since the last time that I filmed, just because last Wednesday I got some really bad news and I just stopped filming, and I just kind of took the end of last week as kind of like a mental health week. I'm still a little bit mental health wise, but I wanted to at least start filming again so I could finish this week in my life vlog, even though it's like a week later from when I filmed. Over the weekend I did finish Infinite Country. I thought it was a really great book. It was a very powerful book. I will say I'm not sure, because I was in such a negative mindset, if it was the right book to read, because books about immigration can be really tough to get through, and it's like a really serious, sad reality about not only life in America, but I think life in a lot of places that accept immigrants. I remember hearing a story about like Australia has a lot of issues with immigration as well. So it's not just like an American only problem, although America definitely highlights the problem really well because of how poorly immigrants are treated here. And now I'm starting a book that I hope will be a little bit happier. It is Blood Like Magic by Liselle Sambury. I was sent an ARC in exchange for an honest review, and I'm only 36 pages into it because life has just been crazy, but I'm really enjoying this book. I have to kind of leave soon to go and do my research meeting with my research mentor, and then later today I'm actually presenting my research at a conference, which will be really exciting. So my research, I think I've talked about it before, but if you don't know, it's on the rhetoric and linguistics of sexual violence prevention. So I'm excited to present that research today. I also have to defend my research on Friday, but with this presentation and defending my research, it's just even more stuff on top of the pile of work that I currently have. So when you're stressed out, I guess another tip is if you can only read 36 pages in a couple of days, don't beat yourself up over it. I'm really hoping that Friday night I can spend a good chunk of my time just reading this book. I'm gonna try to read instead of watching Netflix. We'll see how it goes. Oh my gosh, my neighbors. I'm gonna stop filming. The footsteps are insane. Good morning. It is Thursday and I promise I have been more productive than I look. I'm in sweats, but this morning I went to the gym and then I came home and I did like 3 hours of work for a client. So I'm super proud of the work I've done. And now I'm gonna take some time. I'm just like really feeling like writing. So I'm going to take some time to write. The only issue is right now with my writing, I did get feedback from my critique partner, which I mentioned earlier in this vlog, but I don't think I ever mentioned I got feedback from her. But I did get feedback, and the feedback was basically you should rewrite it and really work on developing the world a little bit more, developing the plot a little bit more. And then I have another project I'm working on right now, which I did for Nano last year, and it's a young adult contemporary, and I think it's also a rewrite, like a complete rewrite. And so I have these 2 complete rewrite projects, and kind of what I want to do is outline both of them and then decide which one I want to rewrite first. But I'm having a lot of issues with the outlining just because they just take a lot of thought. So I'm unsure how I'm going to attack that today, but I have a couple of hours before my class, so that's what I'm gonna be working on. But I've also been trying lately to just kind of go with the flow a little bit more and just kind of let the thoughts come to me. I think there is a balance of like letting the thoughts come to you and then making time to let the thoughts come to you. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, is make time to let the thoughts come to me. Maybe I'll journal a little bit, maybe I'll write on my whiteboard about the stories a little bit, maybe I'll actually write on the outlines a little bit. That would be a wild about that, and we'll just see what happens. The other thing is last night I read a little bit more of Blood Like Magic. I'm about 70 pages in now and I am loving it. I just read a little bit at the end of my work shift yesterday. I'm hoping today to read maybe a half an hour more at the end of my work shift. Basically a couple times a week I work 6 to 10 p.m. in my university writing center, which is obviously late at night, especially for a grandma like me. So what I like to do as a little reward is give myself from like 9 to 10 p.m. or 9:30 to 10 p.m. depending on how busy I am that day to just read, and that's a really nice thing to look forward to, and it makes going into work a little bit easier. I do like my job, I just don't like being there at 10 p.m. at night. If I'm gonna be in the library at 10 p.m. at night, I'd rather be reading a book that I enjoy. Okay, enough procrastinating. We're going to get to actually writing in air quotes, but like not in air quotes because I am working on the projects. I'm just not gonna be like traditionally writing. I really do need to decide though and get these outlines done this week because I would really like to start a rewrite of one of these projects next week. We'll see if that happens because we're running out of time this week, but it's possible. I am about to do my thesis defense. This is so nerve-wracking. So I'm meeting with my committee via Zoom and I'm going to talk to them, and they've read my entire thesis and they're gonna give me feedback. It's so weird because I've been working on this project for 3 years and it's finally coming to a close. Just feels kind of weird, but let's stop procrastinating and let's get over to the virtual room for the thesis defense. The thesis was defended! Woo! And I filmed some TikToks to celebrate. So if you're not following me on TikTok or Instagram, highly recommend because my TikTok/reels are very funny and semi-self-embarrassing. So I passed my thesis. There's a couple of revisions I need to make, but not a lot. So that feels really good to have that out of the way. And actually right now, my friend and I are going to go for a walk. We're gonna walk to an ice cream shop and get ice cream and then walk home, which I don't know why, but that just sounds so like pure and fun and wholesome to me, and I feel like I really want that right now in my life. So that is what we're going to do now, and then I probably will spend a good majority of the rest of the day reading Blood Like Magic because I'm obsessed, and low-key might finish that book today. We'll see. My focus used to be so much better on reading when I was younger. Now whenever I read, it's just like harder for me to focus because of stress. Maybe someday I will reach the pinnacle of happiness of 13-year-old Angela reading 5 books in one day. So right now I'm making some homemade mac and cheese. So I'm boiling pasta and then I'm just gonna melt cheese over it. So very makeshift mac and cheese, very college. But I really wanna watch this movie. It came up on Netflix. It's called Crimson Peak. It has Tom Hiddleston in it and I love Tom Hiddleston. So I'm excited about that. It's a historical fiction, like horror movie. I love historical fiction. I have never actually been scared by a horror movie before. Even The Shining and The Ring and the ones that are considered really scary, when I watch them, I just kind of pick apart how bad the plot and character development is. So I'm really interested to see if this one will scare me. I watch them all the time as like a challenge to see if any will scare me, and they don't. Fun fact, I'm actually more scared by things that seem realistic to me. Sci-fi or like medical shows like Grey's Anatomy scares me more because I feel like that could happen to me, whereas a poltergeist popping out of my TV and killing me feels a little bit less realistic. In case you've been living under a rock, the Shadow and Bones show just released on Netflix, and I thought today I would kind of go over some book recommendations if you like Shadow and Bones. Good morning. So I'm getting ready to go to the gym. I spent the morning outlining. I think the outline's almost done, just a little bit more after I get back from the gym. I did decide I'm gonna work on the YA Contemporary Draft 2 instead of going back to the YA Thriller right now. I'm gonna let that one sit for a little bit more, and low-key, I'm just so excited about this YA Contemporary project. It's such a fun premise, and it's just such a fun, lighthearted story, and I love it. So that's what we're gonna be working on after we go to the gym. I filmed and edited a video, which was book recs if you like Shadow and Bone. I was gonna post it after this video, but I low-key really liked it, so I might post it before the Shadow and Bone series comes out next Friday. I can't believe it's less than a week away. That's crazy. I'm so excited to watch that series. I read those books when I was younger and absolutely loved them, and the series trailers look so good. Now, again, like I said, I'm going to the gym. It's arm day, which is like not my favorite day, but I need to work out my arms so I don't have like really muscular legs and core and like no arm strength. Although I really don't have a lot of arm strength, to be honest, but I'm working on it. I was giving you guys mental health tips during the beginning of this video and that just fell off. This is kind of like a very shambly vlog, to be honest, but I hope you guys enjoy this look into what my life really looks like. But one thing I've started to do just the past couple of weeks that has really helped me mentally is I give myself Saturday off completely from work and university stuff. So I'm only allowed to work on like my writing, my book platform stuff, and reading, and just going to like the gym and doing stuff that's just for me. And I really just enjoy having one day a week where I just kind of refill my well and do the things that I truly love to do. I never gave myself a full day off before because I thought I didn't deserve it or that I needed to work harder, but now that I have this full day off, I actually work harder on the other days of the week. I am back from the gym now. I have outlined draft 2 completely, and I think I'm gonna spend some time reading before I have actual plans to do tonight, which is weird after being like socially distanced for so long. But I'm going to be going to a couple of places and I'll film the B-roll for you, but I think this might be the last talking clip just because it's gonna be kind of a busy afternoon/evening. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and just kind of seeing a look at how I balance life and work with also reading and writing, which are my two biggest passions. If you're curious about Blood Like Magic, I have not finished it yet. If you do want to know my opinion when I do finish it, I will post that on Instagram. In fact, I have an Instagram post prepped for this book, so I'm super excited about that and to like write out the review for that, but I'm just loving this book so much. So I'm sure I'm gonna love like the last 100 pages or so that I have to read today. If you did like this video, I would love if you would consider subscribing for more updates on my writing journey, more reading vlogs, more book recommendations, more of all the writing and reading vibes. Thank you for watching this week in my life vlog, even though it was more like 2 weeks in my life. As always, I will see you in the next video and down in the comments.